Why is it that I always find myself being the only man in a group of women? Hello and welcome, dear soul lady. Welcome to yet another coffee table conversation, especially for women over 40 who have, and I wrote it down, who are living a life where comfort comes naturally, but still have this inner nudge that says, is this all there is? So back to what my opening remark. Why do I find myself very often being the only man in a group with only women? And the reason why I talk about this because 2 days ago it happened again. I signed up for what you could call a mastermind group, which is a word that I find a bit strange and doesn't really gel with the work that I do. But that's another subject. And it's a 1 year commitment. Yeah, there you go. And yes, there are also men in there. So that in that sense, I'm not the only one. But we had a kind of an what you call a welcome meeting, and there I was, surrounded with only women. Now tell me. I mean, usually I like to give some tips, 3 tips at least, or about something that I'm talking about. But could we please reverse it? Could you please give me some tips? Write it in the comment. That would really help. I mean, I have ideas. Could be that maybe I relate well with women, or maybe women relate well with me because I have a certain sensitivity that they appreciate in me as a man. It could also be that I have moments in my life where I had my success, and for instance, I had I've been granted an O1 visa to live and work in New York. And at that time, I had my theater production company. For a big part of my life, I had a career as an actor and musician. I'm in both crafts. I'm being professionally trained and have my certificates and diplomas and whatever. So yes, I had 5 theater solo shows in New York. I created them and produced them and performed them. And the last one had actually a weekly run for 6 months in an off-Broadway theater. I lived my dream. I mean, there are so many artists who are longing to live a life like this, and I was living it. And I had enough money in the bank, enough passive income coming in. Didn't need to work. I could do whatever I wanted. So, but still, backstage, behind the scenes, I had to go to 4 therapy sessions each week, each with a different therapist, to cope with my sense of emptiness, feeling unfulfilled and utterly unhappy. So, and I'm not quite sure if that's the only reason why I'm now working with affluent women over 40. And just to be clear, I did not choose that audience. When I look at the 16 plus years that I've done my coaching and mentoring work, mainly women have come to me seeking advice and support and asking me to be of assistance in whatever they are going through. You know what? I really, 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 I really, really tried to do it differently. Aiming to work with CEOs, men, working with business owners, men. No, when I post anything or whatever, it's the women who respond. So then here's the thing. Very recently, not that long ago, maybe a year or something. That's not long, right? I worked with a marketing consultant, a new one, and we worked and we talked things through, and I got the usual question, who is it you attract, or who are with you look in retrospect, what are the clients you have been attracting, or what kind of clients have crossed your path? And I told them, yeah, it's basically women, and yeah, because of this, that. And who are you working with today? Yeah, CEOs and business owners and everyone who's interested in creating a soulful work environment. Isn't that juicy? Isn't that something that sounds exciting, especially for men, right? And I said, no, no. What you really should do, you really should commit yourself, focus on and profile yourself, marketing language, to affluent women. But then, obviously, it's not that only affluent women; it's affluent soul-seeking women over 40. Because let's be honest, I am profiling myself as the Soul Matters mentor, someone who's specialized in matters regarding soul and explaining why soul matters. That's my passion, that's my trait, that's my what I've become an expert in. Yeah, because here's the thing, and that is very often what happens with women who have it all, living a life dreams are made of. At some point, at least the women who come and ask for my support, those women who have come to a point where they just had to admit that yes, there's some emptiness with all the luxury and the closet full of shoes and designer handbags and having everything they wanted, they still feel somehow unfulfilled and actually unhappy. Waking up at night thinking, is this all there is? And usually that happens also, and that's a kind of a characteristic of the women who cross my path. They start to try to do all these kind of things to overcome it. They do this and they do that, and they put a lot of effort into change how they feel, and then come to the point that they also just have to admit that nothing of what they've done so far worked. Not really. Maybe a little bit, maybe some but they did this thing, they came home and say, oh, that was good, and that, yeah, and over time it slides back and they find, at some point they find themselves at square one again. And then that's, you know, I think, and now I talk about it, my passion of wanting to offer my services to affluent women is because I see how much they're suffering. You know what? You know why? People who do not have any money, they have no problem displaying, ventilating everything that they feel that bothers them. Affluent women, they are careful. They are very hesitant. Privacy is on top of their game, on top of the list. Being cautious, what others might think and what others might do when they share how they really feel inside, they know because they're very much concerned that it's to be thrown out or being rejected from the social circles, the high society they are part of. So they need to walk on eggs and just to be liked and to be accepted and to be be considered as pleasurable um, company. So what happens is they walk through life pretending to for others to believe that everything is fine in their world, although it isn't. And then they slide in isolation. They slide in a state of not really connecting anyone with anyone anymore. And maybe they've tried to share, and then they got the responses, "Oh, get over it." Or, what are you mowing about, complaining about? Look what you have. You have no right to feel unhappy. But then there's this other thing. Because they not talk so much about things, starts to fester and they stay with it alone. And maybe there are times they have tried to reach out and get some help, but then there's this other thing that they may not have had such a good experience with the counselor or the therapist or the health professional they reached out to. And they have all the money in the world, so they can get the best of the best, right? But then completely find themselves at a dead end, not knowing what to do because they have already tried everything that they knew they could do. And then they reach that state of reaching the edge of hopelessness. But still, that's the wonderful thing. Still, they have something in them that says, there must be something out there that's the solution. There must be a solution. So they they overcome their fears, they overcome their hesitation, they overcome their distrust, they overcome their whatever, and then they reach out and they ask, Dr. Christiaan, can you help? The pain women of the affluent women go through, I find, is immense. And maybe that's why what touches me so deeply, and that's why I feel so committed and so passionate in a way to offer my services, especially for you. So that's it for today. And I would love this so much to be interactive. So in case this touched you and you would like to reach out to me confidentially, that's the reason why I put my personal email in the description. Feel free to send me an email and we set up a time and day that's convenient for you to have a chat. And otherwise, when something stirred up in you which you feel comfortable sharing, or maybe you have a question, or maybe there's a particular subject, a topic you would love me to talk about, also put it in the comments. I read them all, and I see to it that in the upcoming coffee table conversation, I will take it with me and share my thoughts about it and give you some answers to the best of my ability. I so much wish you a wonderful, soulful rest of your day, and I hope to see you in yet another coffee table conversation. Take care. Bye for now.